pasta sauces would you pair with long pasta?
That's a very good question.
Quite intriguing, right?
Very intriguing. We're two Italian sisters living in Italy, and we're here to, what would you use?
Celebrate. I would say
Celebrate. Yes, how Italians really eat, drink, and cook. No filters. And today it's all about long pasta and which sauce to pair it with, because actually, I bet you probably didn't think about this.
No, you see, you have to think that for Italians, these things are just obvious. And so many times when we hear like these pairings, people don't understand why we are like horrified by them. And it is actually very difficult to articulate because it's not written anywhere specific. It's just because we've seen our parents and our grandparents or restaurants, families.
It's just the way it is. It's obvious. It's a matter of fact. Full stop. That's how it is.
But pasta and sauce pairing, I mean, we have to try to tell you. So what we did is that we studied a lot. We studied a lot to actually tell you and give you the tools to then decide by yourself, because you know the basics and the essential fundamental parts of pasta.
Once you will get it, and it's going to be so obvious, and it will make perfect sense. So then you'll just know. So let's start off by saying something very important. In Italy, we have over 300 different types of pastas. And these 300 are divided into two categories: long pasta and short pasta. These are the two main categories.
This is how Italians think. Pasta lunga, pasta corta. That's how we think. Those are the two main categories. Then within each, you have smaller groups. And focusing on long pasta here, we actually have 4 different main groups of long pasta. The first one, I would say, is a long pasta without a hole. So think spaghetti, think vermicelli.
Angel hair.
Think angel hair. Now, these are the types of, like, the most common long pastas. Then we've got many different regional long pastas without a hole. What sauce would you pair this with? When you have to think, when you're using a long pasta without a hole, think about the thickness of the pasta. The thinner, here's a general rule. So the thinner the pasta, like angel hair, the more liquidy and creamier the sauce. And the thicker the pasta, this is spaghetti, but you even have one spaghettoni, even thicker, the more rustic the sauce. Now, Benny, who is very passionate, will tell you why. But just imagine you are swirling the pasta, okay? And it just has to, what happens, Benny? What do they do?
So think romantic, okay? Think love. Think of the pasta sauce and the pasta. It's a labor of love. They have to embrace each other. They have to hug each other. You don't want the pasta running away from the sauce. They have to become one. And so for example, something like angel hair. I mean, angel hair is very, very thin. So according to what she said, you want a very, very thin sauce. The best sauce for angel hair, which is not a sauce, is broth. Okay, this is, and when we Italians eat angel hair, and this is maybe the only one of the few times that you're allowed to, you break the pasta, but you don't break it in half, because if not, it doesn't fit in the pot. You break it into small pieces because you're creating pastina. And so when you eat angel hair, you take it with a spoon and it's inside the broth, and they're made for each other. They're perfect. Something like spaghetti, spaghetti is a super versatile kind of pasta.
It's very versatile.
But you're going to have spaghetti with, we would never have spaghetti with broth, and you would have spaghetti with nothing that is very big and chunky, because it has to be that, something that will allow.
It doesn't hug it.
No, that will swirl properly when you get it. So you want pasta and the sauce.
Yeah. And the thicker again, you go for a rustic sauce. So this is the pasta without a hole.
It's actually so much fun.
It's very relaxing.
It is very relaxing.
The other kind of category is actually a long pasta that has a hole. Okay?
Now the most famous one is bucatini, which personally is a pasta shape that I hate. It's just stupid. Why is there a hole in the bucatini? I mean, what is it for?
Well, it's stupid because, well, it's not stupid.
Well, I don't like it.
You don't like it. I don't like it either. But it has a hole.
Makes sense.
And it's so thin that the sauce really needs to go in. Now, here is the general rule when you are using a long pasta with a hole. Here you don't obviously focus on the thickness of the pasta. You look at the width of the hole, okay? So the thinner the hole, like bucatini is like hair thin, the runnier and the more creamier, the runnier the sauce has to be, because in some way it has to go through this tiny hole. And the thicker, like these ziti, the thicker, the chunkier and the more rustic the sauce, I would say. And actually, this type of pasta that I'm having, this pasta shape called ziti, is actually probably like the ancestor of short pasta. Because traditionally this pasta, and this is the other one that you were saying, one of the variations, is you break it into smaller pieces, not because your pan or your pot is too small, but actually because you are having this and served with like a meat sauce.
Yeah, you're changing its identity from long pasta to short pasta. So it's a different purpose.
It's a different purpose.
Then the other pasta, the other category is flat pasta.
Mm-hmm.
And what falls in flat pasta is a lot. Now, flat pasta, linguine. Linguine is a flat pasta.
So it's like, sort of like a spaghetti, but
flat.
Flat.
Another pointless pasta, but flat. But the great thing about,
it's not pointless.
It's
because it's part, it's not part of the Roman culture.
Exactly. And linguine, for example, are great with fish. A lot of fish sauces call for linguine. Like classic is linguine with clams is a classic
also
dish.
With pesto.
Also with pesto. Well, that's
so sort of like the sauces that would go with spaghetti.
See.
You can use it with linguine.
See. And then they're also very regional again. So that's.
But there's another thing. Okay, so flat pasta. Think about. Flat pasta. Think also about lasagna.
Yeah, lasagna is considered a flat.
There's
pasta.
actually two different types, very different types of flat pasta. While the previous ones, we are all talking about a pasta made with semolina flour and water, and that's it. No eggs here, no eggs here, no eggs in the spaghetti, nowhere. When it gets to flat pasta, you have to focus on the width of the ribbon. Just imagine, okay? Because flat pasta starts with like a sheet. So it could be either made with egg pasta, or like linguine is made with semolina flour and water. There are actually two different types of doughs, and so you have two different types of sauces.
Yeah.
And if you cut, so you start with a lasagna sheet. Imagine this is hard, but imagine when it's fresh. You can cut it into thinner tagliatelle or slightly thicker, wider.
No, you have fettuccine, tagliatelle, if you cut them a little bit thicker. And then when you look at how they should be, there's actually a range in inches and centimeters of how it should be. So then you have pappardelle, which are a little bit thicker.
Yes.
And so in this case, what is important is how the width of the ribbon, if so we can call it. The width of the ribbon is what makes the difference.
Yes.
And again, for example, a classic pairing with pappardelle, especially in regions like Tuscany and in Umbria, is with wild boar, pappardelle cinghiale, with chunkier pieces of meat, with thicker sauces, while
with thicker sauces, many of which are meat based. You think about a ragu alla bolognese. they go with lasagna, they go with le tagliatelle,
Sì,
they go
yeah.
fettuccine, and so you have this other variety of long pasta.
Now you're probably wondering why we have this here. Now this is a beautiful, very, very old,
It's
historically, yes,
yeah,
way of making pasta.
it's a very old way of making. You see long pasta. So imagine a sheet,
but a little bit thicker.
slightly thicker. This is called chitarra. Chitarra means guitar. And on one side, the strings are very close to each other. You see about the ribbons. On the other side, they are farther apart. And so that depends on how wide you want your ribbon to be. So imagine you made a pasta with semolina flour and water, okay? You make it slightly thicker. You lay it on top. This is dry, but just imagine. And you start rolling it. You roll it, and the pasta drops down, it cuts it, and it falls down here, and you make a square section sort of spaghetti, pasta quadrata. And a type of pasta, this is very local. We're talking more about the central region.
Yes, this is local.
Because, it's like Lazio, Umbria, Abruzzo, like in the central regions of Italy, uses this. And so you get like tonnarelli, cacio e pepe. Tonnarelli goes with cacio and pepe sauce, but because it's a very local pasta, it will pair best with sauces that are local to each town that it is made in. So I mean, I don't even know what kind they can have in one particular region compared to the other. Rome, absolutely, it's tonnarelli that goes with cacio and pepe sauce.
And so that's the beauty of it, you know. All these different pasta shapes then make sense in the region and in the city, because again, remember, there's no such thing as Italian food, and everything pairs together because of the regions, because of the magic of the ingredients that belong to that region. And so I'm sure there's so many different like I don't think I've ever had ziti.
I did.
Yeah.
I did because
You went.
we also have an Italian online cooking school, an Italian online food and wine school, where we go and we study and we look for traditional Italian homemade dishes. And with one of our chefs, we do video recipes, and she is from the area of Naples, and we did this recipe, and it was actually my very first time having ziti with this meat sauce with onions, lots and lots of onions, and she was just, you buy this long, you can also find it short, but the beauty of just having your family and having the kids go and they all prepare it, or for instance this, you can, for baked pasta, always in that area, you can make it baked pasta, because one of the different ways for us to cook pasta, and to use pasta, not only is it boiled like we have over here, where you boil it in hot water and then you drain it and you put a sauce. You can also first boil it halfway through, then you bake it. So imagine lasagna is a baked pasta. This you can also bake it and then you cut it.
Oh, nice.
No, it's a beautiful, I think it's a beautiful way of preparing food, and we still keep these traditions alive just by breaking it, and I would say, how about like a very quick recap? So we were talking about long pasta.
Okay, long pasta divided in various categories. One of the first categories is long pasta without a hole. And in this case, what makes the difference, according to the sauce you have to use, is the thickness of the pasta. The thinner the pasta, the thinner the sauce.
Exactly. Instead, with bucatini, with ziti, so long pasta with a hole, The thinner the hole, you have to focus on the size of the hole. So the narrower the hole, the thinner the sauce, and obviously vice versa. The wider the hole, the thicker the sauce. Then
when we speak about flat pasta, when we think about flat pasta, what is important is the width of the ribbon. Okay, so the larger the width of the ribbon, the chunkier, the thicker the sauce.
And then we've got the square section pasta, which is extremely local, and that needs a little bit more of understanding because it depends on the localness of the dish. So what other ingredients are local to that area will be used, most likely be used in the dish. And this is the incredible world of the storytelling, because they tell the story of Italy.
They do, because they tell the story of Italy, the regionality, the ingredients, and it's just fantastic.
So you should, now that you've watched this video, try to pay attention and to choose what kind of sauce could go best with the pasta you are using. If you don't know, you can either ask us in the comments or you can sign up to Casa Local Aromas, which is our community and our Italian online cooking school.